Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing I will say that I'm really looking forward to seeing in this movie is, of course, the path of both Rey and Kylo Ren, and exactly where these characters will end up going by the very end of this movie and of the sequel trilogy itself by JJ. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with both, of course, Rey, Poe, and Finn, and the concept of the new Jedi Order, and how it's going to be built in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Rey on a desert world with Poe and Finn inside of an abandoned base, where it's described that Rey is explaining her plan to rebuild the Jedi Order. It said that Rey sports a backpack full of relics and books taken from Arc 2 as well as the Lost City. It's described that one of the plans to create the new Jedi Order is through the use of the ancient books. Additionally, it's described that Luke's voice will also play a role in the film, guiding Rey from time to time in a similar fashion to how Obi-Wan guided Luke in A New Hope and Empire on Hoth. It's said that the new Jedi Order will be built on knowledge gained from the books in the Lost City, as well as the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker. Additionally, it said one of the descriptions involves Rey sitting on a grassy world staring at a large structure that appears to be a Jedi temple with a sunset behind it. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Luke Skywalker delivered that famous line at the very end of Episode 8, "And I will not be the last Jedi." Whether he was referring to one Jedi or Jedi in a plural sense is unknown. Now, obviously, he was pointing toward Rey and how she's going to be the source of creating a new generation of Jedi, essentially. Now, going into Episode 9, we do know that J.J. Abrams has big plans with this movie. It's going to build towards something larger and more magical for the future of the franchise. So, we do know that Rey is going to be a very important part in this story, as well as Kylo Ren. It's really all focused on these two characters. So first things first, I want to go over the Lost City. We've been hearing about this and talking about this for a very long time now, and how it's going to be one of the major players in, of course, the creation of the new Jedi Order in Episode 9 through various new Jedi books that Rey actually claims and stores in her backpack. Now, this all also has to do with the tree library and the books that were stored on Arc 2 as well. Now, what I find very intriguing is how the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker will also play a role in basically the development of the new Jedi Order in Episode 9 through the use of Luke Skywalker's voice guiding Rey in this movie in a similar way to what we saw in A New Hope, where Obi-Wan is reaching out to Luke Skywalker during the trench run, and when, of course, Obi-Wan guides Luke Skywalker on the planet Hoth in Empire Strikes Back. They're doing something very similar in a sense to that in order to create hope within the character of Rey and build towards a new Jedi Order in this movie. Now, the fact that Rey is going to be building it based on ancient lore, to me sounds like it's going to be very interesting. Because if you look at the prequels, we had our own version of course, the Jedi Order. Now, and of course, the sequel trilogy through Luke Skywalker and his new generation of Jedi, before the events of the sequels actually, he had his own version of the Jedi Order. And of course, Luke had his new philosophy when he actually was in his older years in The Last Jedi. Now Rey is building towards something different. It seems as though that J.J. Abrams is building towards a flawless Jedi Order that is basically resilient to the dark side of the Force, perhaps, or any kind of mistakes that happen in the future. Now, the thing that really does interest me is how she's actually collecting all of these different ancient Jedi books from the Lost City. We do know that the Lost City is going to be a major component in this movie into the development of the new Jedi Order and doing something much larger in this film. Now, what really does intrigue me is how the description of Rey staring at a sunset with a large Jedi structure in front of it. Now, this is most likely, in my opinion, because we have heard about this before in the past, this, in my opinion, is an epilogue and is going to be a distant actual story. It's going to be based within the future after the ending of Episode 9, showing us where Rey is. You guys may have heard of the other descriptions about a month or so ago about Rey and this young child. Whether or not it's her child or a Padawan, we're not quite sure. But we do know that a young boy was cast, a young actor was cast for episode 9 in order to work with Daisy Ridley for some of the sequences based within the third act of the film that will be crucial to the plot. Whether or not it's going to be, you know, Kylo Ren and Rey's son or something like that, or just Rey's son, or a Jedi Padawan, Jedi student, whatever have you, is a big mystery as of right now. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the new Jedi Order in episode 9, and how Rey is building it based on ancient lore, taken from both the Lost City and the Tree Library on Octu. To me, this sounds very intriguing for sure. It really seems as though that JJ wants to do something new and different, and creating a Jedi Order that is resilient, like I say, to the dark side and, of course, dark side users. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.